Jennifer is involved with Diddy. I saw Diddy and Jennifer having sex. And I also know that Jennifer sold young boys to Diddy.
At the end of the day, I think he was not fleeing a crime scene. I think he believed that he was fleeing for his life.
The defendants are charged with criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree and third degrees for the possession of loaded 9mm gun.
How can you be sure that it was actually P. Diddy?
Because I watched I was standing by the front door. I watched the entire thing out. I had no reason to believe that it would escalate to a shooting. It was just male machismo and bravado at first. A lot of pushing and shoving, raised voices, hands, but then I saw them reach in their waist and draw from their hips.
If they did ballistic tests and Puff had gunpowder on him, why didn't the police go through with charging him?
Anya Rubin has not begun to see reparations for what happened to her life. How did NBC get to profit off of it?
The queen of the red carpet is now dodging the law. Jennifer Lopez, the epitome of glamour and success, finds herself entangled in a web of controversy that rewrites everything we thought we knew about her pristine image. A judge has issued an arrest order for J.Lo, thrusting her into the center of one of the most explosive celebrity trials in decades. Behind the glittering gowns and blockbuster performances lies a story darker than anyone could have imagined, one that connects her to Shan Holmes' convoluted, shadowy past. Now, the resurfacing of shocking witness testimony has shattered the illusion, exposing a side of Lopez that no one ever saw coming. It all stems from allegations tied to the infamous 1999 Club New York shooting, a night that left 3 innocent clubgoers injured in a hail of gunfire and sent ripples through the entertainment world. At the time, J.Lo was Diddy's girlfriend, standing by his side as his empire expanded at breakneck speed. But recent developments suggest her role that night may have been far more significant than she let on. Witnesses claim Lopez played a key part in orchestrating the aftermath of the incident, allegedly helping to cover up critical details, while Diddy unleashed a campaign of bribery and intimidation to deflect suspicion. Could the woman who once sang about being Jenny from the block have been complicit in a scheme designed to protect the man who now faces a mountain of legal trouble? And if so, how deep does her involvement go?
Oh, well, why would he shoot you? What did you do? Did you owe him money? And I'm like, class, pay attention. Bullets don't have names, and they don't have predetermined destinations. Once they come out of the gun, they're gonna go wherever they go. And that's the thing about crime and shooting people. You cannot guarantee that what you're aiming at is what you're gonna hit. Because you might be a thug, but it doesn't mean you have good aim. You might be a criminal, but it doesn't mean you have good aim. And that is exactly how I sit here today. Because some thug criminal with an attitude and an ego that was outside of control decided he was going to fire a gun in a crowded nightclub and shot me in my face. By the grace of God, I am here. The first thing I said when the bullet hit me, and listen, when right before the muzzle flash went off, when I had turned back to look, I heard God's voice say, relax, you are about to get hit, calm down. And when I screamed no, pop, pop, and it hit me dead in my face. And I never passed out, I never fell, I never cried, everybody started running. And just like when you watch a TV show or a movie and there's one person standing in spot and everybody else is moving in fast motion and that one person is just in that spot, whatever they do looks a little slower, but everybody else is moving fast, that's exactly what it was like. Everybody was running, trying to get places. It was chaos. It was chaos. When that door, the first few people ran out of the door flew open. And remember, I was in that line sight, straight from the staircase, straight towards the front door. As soon as the bullet hit me, I threw my hands up and screamed out, no, God, don't take me. I'm not finished raising my kids. I have work to do. I screamed that at the top of my lungs. I said, I'm not going. Don't take me. I have work to do. I have to raise my children. And as I said that, the door flew open and I could feel that total rush of that cold December 27th morning air. It was freezing out there. And it passed right before the air. You ever watch Star Trek and they say, beam me up, Scotty, and they start to pixelate? My body started doing that. I felt my body pixelating. I didn't even feel like a solid person anymore. And as my body was pixelating, that's when the door flew open and the air rushed in.
The accusations don't end there. A study suggests that unearthed images from September 2000, just a year after the shooting, paint a frightening picture. taken inside the now-defunct Lotus nightclub at the MTV Video Music Awards after the party. The photographs show a clearly stressed Lopez embroiled in a fierce dispute with Diddy. In the photographs, J-Lo, wearing a colorful geometric patterned little dress, glares at an aggressive, enraged Diddy as her sister Linda stands nervously nearby. The incident, which appeared to intensify as the night wore on, has left many asking, was this the moment Lopez realized she'd gotten in over her head? Or worse yet, could this battle have been over something considerably more dangerous, something she knew but never revealed? Adding fuel to the fire are murmurs about what may have transpired later that same night. A stunning claim has arisen, indicating that J-Lo may have overheard or even witnessed a private conversation between Diddy and none other than Jay-Z, according to speculative reports circulating online. This meeting involved a troubling debate about maintaining their reputations no matter the cost. Could this have marked the beginning of a pact, an agreement that some believe may have silenced Lopez for decades? If accurate, the ramifications are startling. What secrets may she have held for over 20 years, knowing that coming forward might damage not just her career, but also the careers of others deeply tied to the scandal?
The charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
He joins us now, sharing her story. Natanya, thank you so much for being with us. I can't imagine what you've been through since 1999, and then all the emotions that must be coming up over the last couple of days.
I can tell you that immediately, the moment she opened her mouth, you could see that Combs was listening intently to everything that she had to say, as well as those jurors.
After Jennifer Lopez was dragged into the Diddy lawsuit over allegedly being the gun mule in a 1999 nightclub shooting where Diddy and J-Lo allegedly made a rapper named Shine take the fall and spend 10 years in prison for them, people have started digging into her past, and it raises some questions.
I don't know if he was present with that, but I know he had been hanging around with him in London, in Paris, different places.
Law enforcement sources are expecting the feds to widen the Diddy probe to include previous criminal investigations. Now, we know Diddy was criminally investigated regarding that shooting in New York, but I didn't realize the extent of J-Lo's involvement.
Of course, the timing of this revived drama seems anything but coincidental. Diddy, who is presently confined behind bars awaiting trial on a series of criminal accusations, has been accused of employing extortion and coercion to keep his powerful circle intact. But here's the twist: some sources now wonder if the same tactics could have been used to push Lopez to sue. Let's not forget her meteoric rise in the early 2000s, from chart-topping records to major roles in blockbuster films, all of which occurred during and shortly after her relationship with Diddy. Could it be that the same recordings, bribes, and threats currently plaguing Diddy's empire were once tools used to protect and elevate Lopez as she climbed the ladder of fame? Was her career built on a foundation far shakier than we've been led to believe? The resurrected images and emerging claims are just the beginning. The internet has been ablaze with accusations that Lopez's silence amid Diddy's mounting legal issues wasn't just strategic, it was purposeful. And who could forget their notorious 2001 breakup? At the time, Lopez distanced herself from Diddy, citing a toxic relationship, infidelity, and emotional strain. But was there more to that story? Some speculate their split was a calculated move to protect her image as the pressure from Diddy legal troubles mounted. After all, the Club New York shooting had already left an indelible mark on his reputation, and Lopez's career was only just beginning to explode.
I watched them, bow, bow, both of them fired, and the muzzle flash was like, psh, psh. Shine's muzzle flash was a little higher. He was on the side.
I have a family, and I got 3 kids now, and it's a whole long road later, and I have a much better sort of perspective on it all, although it's still can be very confusing and difficult to deal with.
I'm quite sure they probably called the FBI gave that courtesy call of being after that. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you some things. It's about your wife.